Hello everyone, this is Crystal Putoff, and today I am going to show how I do this pattern. This is called, I call it a 48 triangle pattern because the initial division is divided into 48 triangles. And those of you looking at this for the first time, thinking, wow, I have to tell you that this is actually a fairly simple pattern. I like to do this a lot with beginners because it gives you practice doing straight lines, and once you get it drawn on the egg, it is a pretty straightforward design. So put my egg here. To start with, I am going to divide the egg into 8 pieces. Now I'm using a practice egg. This egg has a lot of bumps on it, and I think it has a little crack in it somewhere. And the reason I'm using it is so that I can draw the lines very darkly so you can see them on the video. Otherwise, I would normally draw very lightly with actually this blue pen, or pencil, not pen. But I'm going to use just a regular pencil and draw dark so you can see what I'm doing. So I have my top marked. I've marked that already. Whoop! Egg got away from me. And now I am going to make on my template where it says 90, 60, and 90, 90, 60, and 90. I'm making little marks. So there's 4 little marks around the egg. Now I'm going to connect these. So I'm going to draw from the top up, from that mark up to the top, from the top down to that mark, around to the bottom, and then connect it back up. So I have a line going around the egg. I'm going to draw another line around the egg long ways. So do the same thing. I start, I draw up to the top, I go from the top down to the mark, from the mark to the bottom. And this is an empty egg, that's why it has the hole in the bottom. And another mark. So now there are 4 lines going around the egg. Okay, now I want to divide the egg. I want to make an equator on the egg. So I'm going to measure from the top down to the bottom, and I use a centimeter side because I find it easier to divide by 10. And it's about at the 8. So I'm going to make a little mark at the 4. I'm going to do the same thing on the next line. At the 4. The 4. And again on the 4. Now some people use quilling tape, some people use a lathe. There's no right or wrong way, whatever works best for you. I have a trouble eyeballing it, making sure it's exactly straight, so I do tend to measure. Now I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other lines that I drew. I'm going to connect these 4. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you look at the egg, it now has 8 sections on it, 8 kind of a triangle. But wait, I said it was going to be a 48 triangle egg, and now it's only an 8 triangle egg. So now this part I am going to eyeball. I'm going to make a little dot in the center of each of these triangles. So I should be making 8 dots. It was 4, I turn it upside down, I do the same thing. I really like this 48 triangle pattern because it's really a very versatile pattern. Alright, so each of my 8 sections has a dot in it. Now I'm going to draw from the corner of that triangle up to the dot. Kind of make a peace sign. So 1, 2, 3. All right, and I'm going to continue to do that on the other ones. So I'm taking each one of my 8 pieces and I am dividing it into 3 pieces. I'm making 3 triangles inside the original triangle. And now, so I did the top, and now I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. So where the triangle is, the corner, I'm going to draw to there. 1, 2, 3. And you can say Father, Son, Holy Spirit. You can say Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One. Say 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So now I have 8 triangles, and they have 3 triangles in them. So now I have 24 triangles. So we're getting closer. So now if you look at the egg, there's sort of this diamond shape. There's one there, one there. There's 4 of them. So now I'm going to divide that in half. So I'm going to draw from here to there. And I'm going to do that in each one of those 4 that kind of go around the middle. Okay. Now, if you notice up here, there's another triangle from the top point to here. So I'm going to divide that one in half. So I'm going to divide from this point to this point. So it'll go like that. It has a little bit of a curve to it. Or it can be straight. It doesn't matter. There's 4. Okay. And that's kind of what the top looks like. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. So what I did with those 3 triangles, I have divided each one of those in half. So I now have 48 triangles on my egg. And if you do this at home, you can count them. Otherwise, you're just going to have to trust me. There's 48 triangles on there. All right, we'll be back. This is all I draw on it with the pencil. I have another egg that I've drawn on very lightly with a pencil, and the next step will be to put the wax on all the portions that we want to stay white.